Yo, welcome back. I know I just said I wouldn't make any NFL news today. Um, but yeah, I just found out some of the craziest news I've ever heard. So I'm gonna start with this. Um, we already know the Commanders lost. They're uh they're out. They got eliminated. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I'm gonna go with this story that just came out. I'm assuming it's from is it from the press conference? All right, so here you go. Ron Rivera on Commanders starting quarterback for Week 18. We'll see, bruh. Just pick anybody. It don't it don't matter who you throw out there, man. Pick somebody. Pick if anything, start Sam Howell and see if he can do something. The game is meaningless. The game, I guess, the game is only meaningful for I guess for Dallas. I don't want to see Dallas win, but it's like the game. I guess winning is not going. I can see if the game was like to keep Dallas out of the playoffs. That's not going to happen. They're in the playoffs. It's just a matter of seeding. Anyway, the Washington Commanders have another quarterback decision to make. With Coach Ron Rivera saying we'll see when asked who would start the regular season finale versus Dallas. It doesn't matter. Pick. I don't want to see Wentz. So you got Heineke or Howe. I honestly don't even know why he was in there today. Carson Wentz started Sunday's 24-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns and completed 18 of 26 for 143 yards and three interceptions. He had returned to the lineup this week when Rivera benched Taylor Heineke, hoping for an offensive spark. Why? I still didn't get that. I mean, I guess you could have benched him last week, but then I don't think starting Wentz now when you have to win these games, just ride out Taylor Heineke. Instead, the Laws combined with Green Bay's victories over Minnesota eliminated Washington from playoff contention for the eighth time in 10 seasons. Yeesh, man. Commanders are 0-3-1 in their past four games. We'll sit down and talk with the coaches and watch the tape and go from there. Washington also has rookie Sam Howell not played the game this year. Rivera also said he considered benching Wentz versus the Browns, but a 21-play touchdown drive before the end of the half gave Washington a 73 lead, and that was pretty much all the points they scored the rest of the game. And bought time for the quarterback, right? Because if he'd have thrown it something crazy, they didn't score, or they're 3-0, he would have came out. After that second interception, they should have taken him out, man. Wentz is washed up, man. Wentz is, boy. I don't. It sucks, man, because we got to get rid of him. And this will be he'll be looking for his fourth team in 4 years. It's like, damn, man, I don't want this guy to keep hopping from team to team, but he's got to get right mentally or something, because it's like that guy. What I don't know what happened to the guy that was in Philly. It seemed like he got hurt and he was never the same. Washington's 10 points represented its lowest output since October 2nd's loss at Dallas. Not a good one. Wentz said of his day, that's not what I had in mind. Yeah, no one had it in mind. Yeah, and what we had in mind the team, we had in mind a victory, not the performance I envisioned. A lot of stuff I went back. Yeah, how about them three interceptions? Oh my God, bro. Washington's fans chanted for Heineke. Now I didn't hear anything because I had the game on mute because I was doing some other stuff. I just wanted the game on, and then I think I had like YouTube on my TV. I was more interested in what was on YouTube than what was on this game today. After the occasion, they resurrected the channel on several occasions, including one time when defensive tackle Jonathan Allen lay on the field with a excuse me. When defensive tackle Jonathan Allen lay on the field with an injured left knee, defensive players motioned for the crowd to be quiet and chant died. The fans are going to voice their opinion, and everyone hears it. No stuff. Terry McLaurin. We tried to stay focused on what was going on the field, but yeah, it's definitely tough. Probably tough for both guys. When Wentz went off the field, fans standing at the tunnel booed him. It's part of football, he said. I get it. I've seen a lot in my 7 years, and it's been a lot. I get it. I didn't have my best day today. Yeah, you picked the worst day to have that worst day. And I wish it would have went different. I feel like I let some of my teammates down early in the game, put us in a hole a little bit. Wentz threw 2 interceptions in the first half. I tried to be aggressive, tried to force a couple throws early. He said it kind of put us in the hole. He broke his finger, injured reserve, blah, blah, yeah. After a second consecutive loss, Rivera returned to Wentz, hoping to light a spark under the offense that ranked 25th in scoring. But the Commanders managed only 260 total yards versus the Browns, the third lowest output of the season. He had his moments. Yeah, he made some throws. I thought that drive before the half was what we were looking for. We felt we be able to come out and do something like that again and just didn't do it. Yeah. So overall, he had a bad game, 3 interceptions. He didn't help anything, but the defense didn't help either. They didn't stop him. They gave up 24 points to a guy who's only been playing 2 weeks. Jesus, man. All right, I told myself I wasn't gonna make no NFL news because I just Jesus. So anyway, I'm done with that part about the QB controversy. I guess he can't make a decision. Just pick somebody, man. It don't matter. We'll just have to lean on the defense to win. I would much rather had Heineke out there because you know what you're gonna get from Heineke. We know what Heineke can do, but Wentz he's had a ceiling. We know his ceiling. I don't know what his issue is. I don't know if it's the injury, it's psychological. I don't know what it is. Like it's what was it, a ring finger? Even before that, but like was it a ring? It was a right ring finger. I mean, I guess you need the. I guess to make to make a full grip you need all 5 fingers, but I think he could have managed with 4 fingers. Well, 3 fingers and a thumb, whatever his stupid joke is. Anyway, so let me click right here to CBS Sports. When I put in Ron Rivera, all these popped up. Commanders Ron Rivera was surprised after Week 17 loss that team could be eliminated from playoffs. When I saw these articles, I was like, there ain't no way that it's even possible. How could you not know that if you lost, you'd be knocked out of the playoffs? Everyone in the whole world knew they had to win out when they lost to when they tied the Giants the first time. Look at this foolishness. Basically, when they tied the Giants the first time, they could not lose enough. They had to beat the Giants twice. And that was what 4 or 5 weeks. They had to win them 2 games because, like I said, being last in the division, that's damn near impossible to get into the playoffs. I was like, there ain't no way all 4 teams get in. That's not gonna happen. Oh my God, I don't know how that's even possible. After so this is the post games conference. Asked afterwards if he'll reevaluate the position depending on the results of Week 17 Packers game late in the day. Packers won. Ron Rivera was uncertain, but not because of anything due to QB situation. Instead, Rivera expressed surprise at the notion Washington could even be eliminated from playoff contention. Oh my God! With a Green Bay victory on Sunday, it's not even the victory; it's that we didn't win. If you winning the game, it wouldn't even matter. We lost the game. I don't know in what world You thought losing was going to make the situation better. Everyone knew Green Bay was going to smack up on the Vikings because the Vikings are, I don't know if they're just really lucky or just really mediocre. I want to say both because we should have beat them, and they came back, and then they came back on the Colts, which is a bad team, and then they finally faced a team that's got something going for them, and they got smacked in the mouth. If you guys are eliminated by what happens at 4 o'clock, is how Sam Howell's consideration. The coach took a long pause and looked quizzically at the report. Oh my goodness! Looked quizzically at the reporter before replying, "We could be eliminated." Oh my god, bro! I can't. There's no way. There's no way, bro. After the reporter explained that a Packers win would knock the Commanders out of the race for a wild card spot, Rivera appeared to try playing off his confusion. He replied. Oh my god. The Packers would have more wins than Washington by beating the rival Packers Vikings on Sunday and could clinch one of the NFC's final wild card spots by also beating the Lions on Week 18. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Lions will get it together and win that game. The Commanders, meanwhile, are set to close their regular season at Cowboys. It remains unclear which quarterback might start the matchup. I went through this. This is just more about putting it. What is this? Rivera later clarified his post-game remarks, saying he was frustrated by the question. Why would you be frustrated about it? It's a legitimate question. And adding that he didn't know the Commanders could be eliminated because he thought they would win, and he only focused on what would happen if they won. No, man, you have to you have to be prepared for every option, bro. Winning the game was not. There's no guarantees in life, man. You had to know. Oh my goodness. Let me see. What's this? This is a Yahoo Sports Journal. Let me see if this is any different. Okay, so there you go. This is from Yahoo Sports. So I'm just trying to skip over the stuff that I've already been reading. Everyone's got pretty much the similar points in their articles. That's crazy. Uh, he said he was only focused on what would happen if Washington won. And he didn't consider alternative. Yeah, man, you have to have all that stuff. Somebody had either someone on the team should have told him, or he should have just already known. Everything, all this should have been known by him. Which goes into the decision to start Wentz. I don't understand. The biggest game of the season, you put in a guy that hadn't played in 9 weeks. Oh my god. So it's understandable for a head coach to have a brain fart and blank on the name of a team or player. Having everyone eat the mind function, yeah, okay, yeah, but that's not what this is. What happened with Rod here isn't that exactly. He didn't forget one part of the elimination scenario or the name of one of the teams involved. He appeared to have absolutely no idea the Commanders could be eliminated on Sunday. The job of a head coach is to prepare their team for any and all scenarios, both on and off the field. If Rivera had known the Commanders could be eliminated, would that have affected the decision to start Wentz, who threw 3 interceptions, 0 touchdowns against the Browns on Sunday? Would he have considered starting Taylor Heinicke or maybe bench Wentz for Heinicke during the game? Unfortunately, it doesn't matter what he would have done. The game's already finished in the books in the Commanders' favor. Yeah, it's done. That's the end of it. That's a big thing to forget or not keep in mind. Like with he brought the guy wrote this article. He brought up the point. If he had known Which I mean, that should have been common sense. He knew he figured that out. He should have known that after they lost to the Giants, they couldn't lose another game. It just wasn't possible because you'd have to hope for you had to hope Green Bay was not going to lose to the Vikings, and the Bears weren't going to beat the Lions. Come on, man. And then the Seahawks won today, and they're still in it. Like too many. Come on, man. Come on now. Like, oh, jeez, man. This is crazy. Get this out of here. So there's another article, Washington Post. Commanders' playoff hopes end following ugly loss to the Browns. Acquire of the cores. Acquire cores of Heineke chance ushered Carson Wentz back onto the field, deep in his team's territory. He had already thrown two interceptions, the first of which incited calls for a switchback to quarterback Taylor Heineke. And the Washington Commanders also had turned the ball over on downs, completing a blueprint of the worst case scenario in the game with major playoff implications. Yeah. In the second quarter had barely begun. Let's go ahead and play this real quick. I just want to get y'all to hear it. Oh my god, bro. That's just crazy. Give that you'd have gave him the whole world, the whole season, and then he had one bad game and you had to bench him. I understand, but it's like, damn, let that guy finish what he started. He is the only reason we are in this. We were in this far. We was here this far to begin with. I know you're looking for a spark, but maybe you don't know. Maybe him getting benched would have, I don't know, clicked something in his mind. Like, damn, I played really bad. I can't play bad. I don't think he would have had two bad games in a row. If that what he was concerned about, then you shouldn't have made him so. You should have put Sam Howell. If he was worried about back to back bad games, granted he had played the best game, but when he plays efficiently, we win it. Now this also goes back to the thing with I think the defense and Chase Young. Um, I don't think Chase. I didn't want Chase Young to come back because I think the defense changes dramatically when he's out there. They don't play as cohesively when Chase Young is out there because they have it becomes this mentality. It's like it really puts all the pressure on the front four. When he wasn't out there, them guys on the front four, it was more the responsibility was more distributed. So it was better team defense. That's one thing when you got all these big superstars, you get to this point where you get kind of comfortable with I got this ace in my pocket. I'll just pull him out when I need to, and that doesn't always happen, especially on defense. Because if he when he was out, none of them dudes were getting double teamed because none of them had I guess the clout or I guess the presence of Chase Young. So no one on that defensive line was ever getting double teamed. Everyone was playing straight up man to man, or there were some stunts in between. Yeah, but everyone had to play their assignment. The problem is now that he's out there, he'll get hit with double teams all the time, which means them dudes on the other side, them other three guys on the line, they have to step up and pick up the slack, and that's why it's not the same. I was talking to somebody about it. They say, oh, maybe he can just come out and play like a small role, like play every so often. It's like, yeah, I guess so. As long as he doesn't disrupt what the defense was already doing, that's not on him. I mean, he's a great player, but everything changes dramatically when he's out there because now defense is game plan against that one guy, and basically, I don't think when they're out there when it's Chase Young and the other three, I don't think the other three pick up the slack well. And then if Chase Young has a bad play or a bad couple plays, and that's the offense on the other side, they can do whatever they want. The spark that coach Ron Rivera hoped to find by benching Heineke in favor of Wentz never really never fully lit. Instead, ire poured out in FedEx Field stands as fans called for the backup, hit the exits right before the game ended. Then we're left to grapple with elimination from playoff contention later today. This is about the 21-yard play, the interceptions, and yeah. The playoff list finish is a huge disappointing fall for a Commanders team that at one point was firmly entrenched in the postseason discussion. Yep, we were 7-5, and I don't think we haven't won a game since. Heineke took over in week 7, but I mean, I think we had. I don't think we understood the assignment, man. The games get harder the later in the season. We're not the only one playing for the playoffs, bro. At that point, 7. I think we were like 6. We were like in the 6th seed. And New York was in the 7th, and now I think New York's like 6, and I think Green Bay is 7 now, and then Tampa Bay got the division, so they're 4th, and then you got 4 teams behind us. I'm like, come on, man, y'all. The problem is that this was what I was concerned about when they won all these games. It was great, but like the game, they say it right here. The stretch gave the Commanders hope that they had turned the corner, that they had the talent to win, and the comfort and the scheme to move. The stretch seemed to affirm Rivera's methods in rebuilding the franchise. It's always about where you are in your third season, he said 2 days before Sunday's loss. How you put your players in position. Are you confident in what you're doing as far as your scheme? And then really the thing that just showed everybody we're there is to get to the playoffs. But his decision to turn back to wins may be remembered as the dagger to his Washington tenure that it led to a second straight failed bid for the playoffs. Note after it went 0-3-1 in its past four games, the only likelihood in Washington's near future is yet another quarterback search in the offseason. Maybe even a full house cleaning and perhaps a sell by Dan Snyder. That ain't happening. Let's see. This is a tweet. Washington hasn't had a winning season in 7 years. Yeah. It has been to the playoffs only 5 times this century, and it hasn't made it past the divisional round in 31 years when it won the Super Bowl 26. I think that's what it is. The locker room after the game was eerily quiet. Frustration that mounted after the players' postseason hopes dwindled because of their own mistakes and questionable play calling. And Rivera saw another progress quickly erode. It's tough. It sucks. Defensive back Bobby McCain said. And just Wentz's stats. Don't care about that anymore. They play like crap. And then this just goes through more plays and Wentz sacked. I don't care. And it just goes. This is just breaking down the game. What they did wrong. They did a lot wrong. Not enough right. All right. I'm done with that. So there's one last thing that I'm done for this. I'm done. I don't want to talk about this anymore. There's a site. It's a Commanders fan page. It's called Hogs Haven. And this was at 6:49 p.m. Ron Rivera should be fired tonight. I'm gonna be real. I agree with this. He gotta go, man. It's not that he can't coach. But the thing that separates the great coaches from the good coaches need a lot of talent. Now, notice the word I put in need. Everyone needs talent, right? But a good coach really needs it. It's not the same as having. A great coach can have the talent, but when they don't have that talent, their coaching shines. Ron Rivera has made a lot of questionable calls this year when it comes to. It's funny he got the two fingers up. He's made some really weird decisions on like either fourth downs, 2-point conversions, really weird third down calls, certain game situation calls. Like I said, that game against the Giants when they were in overtime and they were like 10 yards away from field goal range. They ran this really weird play on like 2nd and 1. They lost like 5 yards. It ended up 3rd and long. And instead of running something that moves the chains, moves them forward, he ran a play, knocked them back 4 yards, and essentially had to put them into a passing situation. And we ended up having to punt. And then that game ended up in the tie because luckily the Giants missed the field goal. But man, it's just, and it's not just yet this year. Since he's been there, man. It's just weird play call. I think he's still stuck in that Cam mentality where he thinks Cam can just. He thinks he's had a guy like Cam that can just get him out of anything. Because young Cam, when he was coaching, he had the ability to get you out of certain situations. He doesn't have that with Heineke or Wentz, or maybe Howe can do it, but we don't know because he hasn't played. Which is why you might as well play him next week. I mean, it doesn't really matter who you play, even if we win. It'd be great to win the game just to stick it to Cowboys fans. But it doesn't mean anything. We're out of the playoffs. Let's see. Let's just read this real quick. When it comes down to it, Ron Rivera couldn't be saved from himself. After overpaying Carson Wentz in the offseason, and rolling Wentz out for the first 6 games before he hurt his fingers against the Bears, Washington looked dead in the water at 2-4. It was mid-October and it appeared to be time for turn our sights on the draft. Yeah. And then, as it has so many other times in Rivera's 10-year injury pool, the better personnel manager than Ron. That's messed up. I mean, it was. I mean, I hate Wentz getting hurt did help. Unfortunately and unfortunately. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for the whole team. Time to go 5-3-1. With Heineke Ferguson, not ball on hell no. But so far this year he's been consistently better than Wentz, and those were really the only. Yeah, man. The Commanders' turn, and then this was like the side by side. But despite hanging in against the 49ers, but perhaps the best team in the NFC at this point, for 3 quarters, Ron, either struck by amnesia or in a fit of hubris, or perhaps some toxic combination of both, decided it was time to go back to Wentz against the Browns. Oh my gosh. I'm happy. Yeah. So I played that and that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think Ron Rivera should be hired? Yes, after the season. Yeah, I'm just gonna vote. Yeah, I mean, damn. I mean, if you're gonna fire him, let him finish the season at least. It don't really matter. It's just gonna be all it's gonna do is add one more game to his resume. It's either gonna be a loss or I hope it's a win. Um, yeah, he might have to go. He has to go. Wentz unfortunately has to go. Um, we might we might have to get rid of Heineke. Really, Heineke's not bad, but I mean he doesn't do enough. I don't think he's not the guy because you can't keep him as a backup because we're going to we're going to keep going through this every year. God forbid if the guy we got starting gets hurt, we're going to keep going through this every year. We're going to come in, he'll have a good few games, and then if it's a serious injury, of a long-term injury, he'll be out there, and then we'll have this whole. It'll be one big old cycle. We'll keep repeating. It's not going to help anything. We'll end up winning a few games. We won't be dead last, but we'll be middle of the pack. And middle of the pack does nothing when it comes to the draft. Unfortunately, you have to be really good, but you pick really late. But that means if you're really good all the time, you're picking late. That means you know what you're doing in the draft. You know how to you know how to scout talent. Or we're just going to be really bad all the time, and we're always picking early, which means we should be getting the best talent. But then we have to develop the talent anyway, and we don't do that because I don't think a lot of this young talent hasn't really hit their peak yet. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm done, man. I'm gonna go back to this Ravens game. It's 3-3. I'm done. Thank you. Good night. If you're a Commanders fan, I'm sorry.